You're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. Still the Morning Crossfire right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The controversy surrounding the payment for new meters or replacement of meters, phase out and phase in of meters, call it what you want, is still rife. And the die is cast between the distribution companies on one hand and the consumers on the other hand. Now, not a few persons, let me say, have complained on this program saying, hey, Kofi, I've been asked to pay for a new meter by my distribution company right here in Lagos. I don't want to pay for it. Why should I have to pay for it? We'll talk about that this morning on the program. So we have the distribution companies on one hand and we have the consumers on another hand. Now, apart from the consumers who are on another hand, team consumers, let me call it that, team consumers have been joined by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, who seem to be on the side of the consumers. All right, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. And now the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, the FCCPC, they've also joined the consumers to say, hey, wait a minute, we don't think that consumers should pay for the replacement of meters. So we want to find out. The discos are insisting, they're digging in. Now, NERC has its regulations. NERC has called on the discos to halt their phase out of meters. So some of these meters that we hear are by a company called Unistar. A week or two ago, Unistar came out to deny that its meters were bad or needed to be phased out. They say simply need a little tweaking and they are good to go. So what issue do the distribution companies have with Unistar? Are the Unistar meters, are they up to date? Are they current? Or do they need to be replaced? All right. Some of you listening to me, you have these Unistar meters. Some of you listening to me either with one of the distribution companies in Lagos, you've been reached out, say, okay, you have been given a deadline to phase out your meters, to change or replace them, and you've been asked to pay a certain amount of money. Do you think you should be paying? So the distribution companies are digging in. NERC has said halt this phase out of meters for now. And of course, there are certain guidelines and regulations in the laws and the regulations of NERC and electricity sector in Nigeria that need to be followed. FCCPC has said, follow the directives of NERC. We are here to protect the consumers. And the discos are saying, we're insisting that the consumers must pay for their new meters. What's going on? Please be a part of the conversation by calling the numbers usually advertised: 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 0993. That's the number to call. We have a female line, 0201 465 7190, 0201 465 7190. WhatsApp, you can send messages only for now. The WhatsApp number is 08095 975805, 08095 975805. And of course, please tell us where you're listening to us from and then your name. That being said, we have a post on X, which is live streaming on Facebook and also on our YouTube page where you can drop your comments. In a statement last Tuesday, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission ordered Ikeja Electric and Eco Electric to immediately halt the replacement of the prepaid meters. These are Unistar prepaid meters due to their non-compliance with the directives from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. Now, according to a statement posted via the Commission's X page last Tuesday, the directive was issued by FCCPC's Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, who's been talking a lot, talking tough, Mr. Tunji Bello. There was a stakeholders meeting held in Abuja. That almighty stakeholders meeting held last week with NEC on one side, FCCPC on one side, and you have the electricity stakeholders, the discos, Unistar was there, and others. Now, that is where the FCCPC made the statement and highlighted that indeed customers are going through a lot. Customers are going through a lot. Electricity customers are going through a lot, including billing, inaccuracies, and inadequate customer care. All right, so they have to protect the consumer. Joining us this morning via Zoom from the beautiful city of Port Harcourt is an energy expert. He's a consultant to the River State Ministry of Power, and he's also the founder at Spark Nigeria, Mr. Chinedu Amah. Mr. Amah, good morning to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Kofi. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Although I wish we could see you.
Give me a minute or two, and I'll settle down and I'll turn on you.
Okay. So let's go straight to, while you're at it, the call question: who should pay? But before we get there, I think let's start from this point. Give us your own take on the background to this whole phase out of meters. Why are the discos phasing out the meters, particularly those provided by Unistar, which seem to be the majority, if not all, the meters?
Okay, Kofi. I think it's a good thing to look at the background on a conversation like this. Now, electricity is a very, very, very regulated sector. Meters that are used in the distribution space, customer side distribution, are rated for 10 years. 10 years. This is per regulation from, I think, is it NEC or NEMSA? I think it's NEMSA. They're certified for 10 years. That's on one side. So it is very important to establish how long those Unistar meters have been within those two networks. I want to assume it's probably over 10 years. Now, at some point, there was conversation around recertification of meters post the 10-year shelf life. I am not sure where that conversation is today, but I know that at a point, it was something on the table. Then, recently, that class of meters, the STS meters, had a rollover which was worldwide. For want of a better example to use, something similar to the Y2K bug, where certain computers did not have certain capabilities. In the case of the STS platform, they had maxed out on their token capabilities, and an upgrade had to be implemented across board to enable all STS meters worldwide continue to provide that service. This is regardless of the age of the meter, whether it's 1 year old, 6 months old, or 10 years old. Now, the question is, do Unistar meters fit into that category of meters that can be rolled over? I cannot answer that question here. I think Unistar needs to provide the response to that question, and the discos need to say, oh, it can get on our platform. No, it cannot get on our platform, because there's a keychain that needs to be generated. I think the 20-digit keychain that will be generated, and you impute that into your meter, and the upgrade happens, right? Mm-hmm. So both stakeholders need to come out and say, oh, this can work, this cannot work. That's where it is with regards to the history of meters. Go ahead.
Are you saying this whole phase out or replacement of the meters is down to this global recalibration that is being done? I mean, in various estates, some of those
between global recalibration and the lifespan of the meters, those are the two things that would have come to play in this conversation.
Because I mean, in some estates in Lagos, I can confirm to you that all you need to do is just go enter that keychain you said into your meter, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, but there are some meters that are not that version. You know, the way you have Android 1, Android 14, there are times you hear, oh, these guys are saying they cannot support that certain OS anymore, right? So these are issues that happen. But the people involved need to come out and say, oh, this system can be supported or it cannot be supported.
Right, you're talking about the STS
right?
2.0 system.
Yes. So I think it's being clever by half not to come out to state clearly what the actual problem is. Is it the lifespan of the meters? Is it the STS 2.0 platform? So if they come out to say, okay, this is the problem, its lifespan is exceeded its lifespan, can they be recertified? I've not seen that part of the conversation. Or it cannot be upgraded to STS 2.0. Right. And I don't think it's a big issue if they can have clarity.
Okay.
If there's clarity on these two things, except there's something else that has not been put in the public space for us to discuss.
Okay. Unistar had said about 3 weeks ago in a statement from its communications department that are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right, good. Unisat said that their meters are up to date. We discussed this on this program. They released a statement 3 weeks ago saying their meters are up to date.
So why are they not being rolled over? That's the other question. And how long have the meters been on the network? These are key conversations in the sector. Stakeholders in the sector know that these are two key issues for meters in the sector. So you either are not able to migrate to 2.0 or the lifespan of the meters has been exceeded. So can NEMSA recertify those meters that they have retained their accuracy? That is the next level of the conversation.
But NEMSA was part of that stakeholder meeting that held recently where it was agreed FCCPC said the next directive to halt the replacement of meter holds. NEMSA was there, and I don't think if they had an objection, maybe FCCPC would not have come out with this particular position. Because FCCPC now they're saying, okay, looking at everything, the consumers need to be protected, all things considered, and the NEMSA was part of that meeting.
I think it's unfair to put the customers at the center of this conversation, when actually between the regulators and the discos they can resolve whatever this is. Do you understand? When you make customers the center of it, the discos cannot come out and take a unilateral decision to push out a certain type of meters, and the regulator says no, don't push it out. No. There has to be a valid position for the discos to say it, except somebody is not being 100% with the truth. So these are the two positions.
All right. Interesting,
right?
Yes.
If those Unistar meters have been there for as long as the industry has been privatized, then I guess they have exceeded their certified shelf life.
All right.
And if they're in Lagos, which a lot of them are, that becomes the conversation.
So who determines shelf life? I mean, if the meters are still working as they should, all right, and there are no issues, because the distribution companies in Lagos gave the deadline of 14th of November when these meters will stop working. Now, you talked about Y2K. Well, I don't know if those who have the meters in Lagos are having problems. If the meters are still working, I know it's about loading your token. Just about loading the token. Will the token reflect on the meters? Will it load?
If you load the token, if you load the token and the token cannot reflect, right? It doesn't update. What that means is that meter is not on the platform that the disco is using. That's the point.
Okay, so if that's what I ask, is it an issue of expiration? Because you said they have a shelf life, and I'm wondering what shelf life. If the meter can be upgraded, then what shelf life are we talking about? Because the company Unistar did say in his press release about 3 weeks ago, that it has two kinds of meters. It has the one that uses the old card meter technology, And he has the one that uses the South African-based SCS technology, which is what we're talking about with the upgrade
to SCS 2.5. SCS and it can upgrade, then those upgrades should happen.
They're saying they can upgrade.
The information on what meters are available in what locations are known by the discos and the regulator. Do you understand? So if you have a class of meters that cannot work within the network, then both the discos and the regulators can tell you the clear numbers, right? So it's not a case of, oh, we're not sure which is or which is not. Metered customers within Lagos are enumerated customers. They are known customers, right? So there is a part of that conversation that nobody wants to have. That's what I'm saying to you.
All right. So
you know where these meters are. You know where they've been deployed. There is a clear reason why the disco will come out and say, hey, we cannot use this meter anymore. And the regulator knows.
You have to be more elaborate so we can understand what you're saying, actually. What are you saying?
Okay. Unit-star meters most likely have exceeded their shelf life of 10 years. But that isn't even the crux of the conversation. The crux is who is supposed to pay for the meters. That is it.
Yeah, no, but okay. Anyway, since you don't want us to go back to what he says, let's get to that. Who should pay? All things being considered, all things being equal, who should pay for the meters?
Now you've landed. Why this conversation is stretching is because there is an institutional amnesia. Why do I say this? I say this because the regulator knows that it has overregulated the tariff that the discos can charge. That is because their principal, which is the federal government, the executive arm of the federal government, has insisted on subsidizing electricity for all of these years. In 2015, Mr. Eyoeko, who was the NEC commissioner at the time, resigned because the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan stepped down the tariff review. In 2015, we had a multi-year tariff order which was agreed and passed on, and the orders were issued where there was supposed to be a 10-year plan for tariff reviews, updates, yes, in simple terms, increase. Periods of under-collection, which is what the industry has suffered up until Band A was instituted, periods of actual collection, periods of over-collection, and then by this time, according to the proposal that was put on the table by some of the discos at the time, by this time, we should have maxed out and returned to the point of equilibrium, where it is actual cost-reflective tariff. Now, if you have continued to drive subsidy, either for political reasons or otherwise, and insisted that those tariffs would not be reviewed, what you have done as a federal government is that you have limited how much the discos can collect, which has also limited how much discos can invest. Disco investments into their network is capped. It is regulated by NEC. I shared something with you. If you go to the NEC website, or if you just type multi-year tariff order 2024, you will see the orders issued for Ikeja Electric and Eco Electric. Those orders are very clear on how much each of these discos can spend on meters in the business year 2024. Based on that fact, if you have 55,000 meters that are obsolete that you want to remove from your network, this should not even be a conversation. But because you have capped those meters, the expense on meters, what it means is that the disco cannot pull money from anywhere to buy the meter. So where this sort of amnesia is being popularly put forward.
All right. We'll come back after the break to understand what you're saying based on the question we asked.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
It's Konga Yakata, our biggest sale of the year. Every day till November 30th is Black Friday. Shop genuine computing, Starlink kits, electronics, mobile phones, and many more at up to 85% off. Powered by the original manufacturers. It is cheap and safe at Konga, the e-commerce group you trust.
Looking for ways to overcome challenges in your career journey? The perfect time to step into a world of opportunity is now. At Markets for You, a trusted, well-renowned online training company with over 17 years of experience and customers spread across the globe. Discover a new way to earn and learn by copying top traders from around the world. No previous experience required. If you're of 18, you can start earning profits from the comfort of your home today. Visit www.marketsforyou.com or call 0912-779-0500, 0912-779-0500 today to start your journey towards financial independence with Markets for You.
All right, family, let's take a moment to relive the magic moments of last Christmas at Pride Land 2, the Bamble Chronicles. What an absolute spectacle.
And the Pride Land show was out of this world. The performers were so talented. The apprehension of what's going to happen next was second to none.
I loved the games, especially the rope tango. It was so much fun. I can't wait to create even more memories this December.
Yes, my darling. This December will be monumental. Pride Land 3 will be a blast. I'm sure of it.
So, families out there, don't wait any longer. Book your package now and get the chance to pay small. Terms and conditions apply. For inquiries, please call 0803-3993-398 or 0705-582-9486.
Eco Hotels and Suites, nestling international standard with African hospitality.
Trader, are you ready for the flight? Yeah. Maximize your gains day or night. The platform, HFM is the name. Trading with us is a brand new game. Come on, feel alone. Execution slow. Switch to HFM. Watch your success grow. Higher leverage, tighter spreads and swap free. Got your back in this financial fight. Trade forex, commodities, indices, shares and more. Just come and see HFM online trading. Withdrawals, deposit done in a dash. Our execution too fast. HFM stands apart from the rest. HFM stands apart from the rest.
Pico, HFM finito, HFM is ito, HFM national platform, online trading, forex trading, any trading, HFM no delay.
Join HFM today. Visit www.hfm.com or download the HFM app on Google Play or App Store. HFM, online trading at its finest.
You define better odd. I be you one play, cause over 1.5. I be you one bet. Say, both seem no go score at all. Yeah, we get better payout to one. No worry, we there for you. Our odd, chapurata. In a day for best baba. We win money, best baba. Cash out today easy, or best baba. We get online games for you to play. Over dollar one. Yeah, we get better bonus. Money we know that. Now bet Baba day so cash up, no sharp. No darling, no. Welcome to Bet Baba.
Register now on betbaba.ng. Not for people under 18.
Charlatan Quality Anti-Malaria contains Artemisa and Lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Charlatan is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Charlatan from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Looking for ways to overcome challenges in your career journey? The perfect time to step into a world of opportunity is now. At Markets for You, a trusted, well-renowned online training company with over 17 years of experience and customers spread across the globe. Discover a new way to earn and learn by copying top traders from around the world. No previous experience required. If you're of 18, you can start earning profits from the comfort of your home today. Visit www.marketsforyou.com or call 0912-779-0500, 0912-779-0500 today to start your journey towards financial independence with Markets for You.
Ikeja. You go feel the heat. Naija pepper they come. Follow make we pass you the heat. Naija pepper they come. Ikoyi, you can't outrun this heat. Naija pepper they come.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire right here on 99.3 Nigerian Farm. Kofi Bartels, it's good to know you're there, listening to us and following our conversation right here on the Morning Crossfire. We're asking who should pay for electricity meters. Should it be the distribution companies or should it be the consumers? Right here on the Morning Crossfire, of course, we've already told you about the stance of the regulatory bodies. You have the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, and you have the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. I'm saying the name pretty fast and pretty well because I usually have to rely on them. I call them when I have issues of complaints about how I'm treated as a consumer. I'm telling you. Anyway, so what is happening is that both organizations, or both bodies, the discos and the regulators, seem to be on a collision course. They seem to be on a collision course. What is this about? This is about phasing out of certain meters that Lagosians are using, that Nigerians are using, which cannot meet up with the technology that the distribution companies want to use going forward. And so the electricity distribution companies, the discos, in Lagos we have two, of course, Ikeja Electric and Eco Electric, appear set on the collision course with the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission and the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC. They gave a deadline of 14th of November for the replacement of these meters. So if you're a consumer who has a meter, a pre-existing meter, a Unistar meter, you are required by the distribution companies to replace it by the 14th of November. Today happens to be the 12th of November, and so we have 2 more days to go before the meters are replaced. Now, I've seen information from the estate I reside in where we're told that we need to impute a new key, a token or some sort of code before midnight on the 20th of November. Before midnight on the 20th of November. If not, we can't use our meters. So I do not know which date to choose, whether it's 14th of November or the 20th of November. That's what I'm being told. But the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission had a meeting with stakeholders, including the distribution companies and, of course, Unistar, which is a company that was mentioned as owning the meters that need to be phased out. Now, Unistar said that it has 2 meters, one that uses a card technology and one that uses South African STS technology, that one that uses the STS technology can be upgraded. We hear that the upgrade of the new meters will be upgraded or will have the STS 2.5 technology. Now, Unistar has insisted that its meters can be upgraded. Our guest this morning has told us that according to the NEC regulations, Nigerian meters have a shelf life of 10 years, after which they should be replaced. Now, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is not alone in this. You have the likes of the LASCOPA, which is the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, which says it supports the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. Now, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, says it supports NEC. NEC says it supports the consumer. Why am I saying so? It's because the NEC has said that the process to replace the meter should be halted for now. Now, where do you stand on this? The discos are digging in. They're saying that the customers must pay because that is the way it is. 020127709993, 020127709993, and of course we have our female line 0201 4657190. Take your calls from now. The first question for me is the meters that the discos want replaced, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company and the Kedge Electricity Distribution Company, can these meters be upgraded? I don't understand what my guest means by shelf life. You tell me more. Because if you never spoil, why are we saying shelf life? He's laughing. I don't know. Your bandwidth is low, so I think maybe you should log out and log back in and see if it'll get you back to where it was. So if these meters can be upgraded to have the SCS 2.0 or 2.5 technology, whichever it is, do they need replacing? Now, if they need replacing, who should pay? Are the meters the property of consumers? Are these meters the property of the distribution companies? We'd like to hear from you. Let's go straight to the phone lines. And are you part of those who've been affected? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi.
Welcome. Who do we have, please?
Zoboli calling from Ikorodu. Good morning to your guest as well.
Thank you very much.
So, first off, I don't know why everything in Nigeria has to be difficult. Mr. Kofi, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. The grass here. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, go on, Mrs. Zoboli. We can hear you.
Okay. The grass here is the consumer at the end of the day. Why should a rollover process that is supposed to be seamless become a cumbersome one? Why? Why should consumers even be made to pay for their meter replacements? This goes, I'm not the one that will say that the meter belongs to them, it's their property. So I buy a meter now, and you say it's your property. At the end of the day, I don't even have access to it, and you make everything so difficult for me as your consumer. What exactly should the average Nigerian do? Do you know what we will face now? Replacing this estimated, do you know, before you replace the meter now, the unified meter, there will be estimated billing all along the line. And who will pay for this? What exactly is wrong here? After this one, after 10 years again, after people to come and roll over or to come and change their meter, see, Mr. Kofi, can't we just have a seamless, effortless rollover process that will not take an arm and a leg from the consumer?
Thank you.
Must everything be difficult here? It's rocket science.
All right, thank you very much. So, as a consumer, why don't you want to pay for your meter? Is it not your property? I'm asking for someone chew me. 99.3, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Kofi.
Please turn off your radio set. Hello, are you there? Can you turn off your radio set, please?
I'm already off it.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Ola.
Okay, Shola or Ola?
Ola.
Okay, Ola, where are you listening from?
Uncle Kofi, from Itegbe, or your local government.
All right.
In fact, my brother, I'm so sad to hear this type of this word from Nigeria. You government, the agent that you give order to distribute the meter for the people, and they are collecting the meter. Are you not trusted the people that you've given the order, the action to distribute the meter? Now you are condemning the meter again. You see the work of our government. So you want us to go and to pay for the meter again now. So, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you calling in. I see we have before I pick the next call, I don't know if he's ready. Okay, I see we have Robert in Apapa. Robert, good morning to you.
Morning, Mr. Kofi.
Welcome.
My question is that if they are facing out the new meter, what about the old one? What happened to that one?
You need to auto-rotate.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you, please.
To me, it is the duty of the providers to give you, even you can't hear me. Hello?
Hello, Robert, are you there? Okay, better. All right, sorry about that, Robert. 99.3, good morning.
Hello, Kofi. Good morning.
Welcome.
My name is Olumuyiwa, calling from Aija.
Welcome.
Okay. Let me not say everything inside my mind. Let me just talk small. Why are they stressing we in Lagos? How many people are paying for this electricity in the north? I live in the north before. 90% of the northern don't pay for electricity. We that we are paying, why are they stressing us? And this new electricity, whatever meter they want to introduce, this one that will be consuming all our units every seconds. Why are we not paying for estimated bill, like maybe 3,000 naira in a month? It's because we are not ready to fight for what is right. If I have mouth in this country, let me conclude this way. If I have mouth in this country, I will tell the whole Lagosian not to even use this electricity anymore. Right. Why will I pay for your meter when you are collecting money from me every second?
All right, thank you.
We are not ready.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate calling. By the way, the discos, of course, have increased the price or the cost of their meters. You could buy a single-phase meter for 117,000 naira. Right now, here it's getting to almost 150,000 naira, particularly precisely 149,800 naira per single-phase meter. All right. So for a three-phase meter, you're paying almost 240,000 naira for one three-phase meter. And the question is, are Nigerians ready to pay for this? I don't know. Chinedu, what do you think is responsible for, the increase? Because consumers are going through consumers are going through a lot. First of all, consumers are paying for band A, and some of them are paying higher than they pay for rent, for electricity. Now they're paying for their meters.
Hold on. You see why your first question, you sounded like I was avoiding it, right? And that was because this conversation should not even be on the table in the first place. Do you understand? Customers don't even need to know how much a meter costs. It's not their business. When you have over, I don't even know the word to use because it's annoying. If the meter is 1 million naira, it is not the customer business. We are only having this conversation because we have an electricity sector that has been over-subsidized over the last 20, 30 years, from the time of the military into the time of democratically elected governments in Nigeria. Now, what that subsidy has led to is a lack of funds within those institutions to be able to invest. So they're now saying, oh, okay, customer, come and buy the meter, we'll refund you. Kofi, can I tell you something?
Yeah,
hello?
Yeah,
Are you there?
Yeah, please go on, yes.
Okay, so the meter in my house today, I bought that meter back in 2015. At that time, I was actively consulting for a distribution company in Nigeria. I think I bought that meter for 36,000 naira. To this day, then there was a program called CapMe for meter purchase.
Yeah.
To this day, I was never refunded a dime, even though I worked within the system.
Oh, you paid out of pocket for it?
I paid out of pocket for my meter and I never got a refund, even though I consulted for the disco for 7 years.
Okay, so you are an insider who was not treated well. I know we had CapMe and we had Maps. CapMe was phased out.
Exactly.
Right?
So the point is, when you have over subsidized and you start to compensate through policy, these issues are bound to happen. These are conversations that should not be a customer's conversation. Customers should not be linked in these conversations, because if a disco, for example, right, let's say I run a disco and I want to change my meters on the network, and it has nothing to do with you paying for the meter, will we be having this conversation?
Okay, because you're saying that you have to pay. If I'm not mistaken, you're not saying that money should not be taken from you to pay, but I think under the CapMe or Maps, one of them, I think CapMe or Maps, one of them was phased out for the other. You are meant.
Yes, CapMe was phased out for Maps.
Okay, you're meant to be given that meter free of charge or upfront, whilst the disco, deducts the cost of the meter bit by bit from your bills. Am I correct?
No, in CapMe, you paid for the meter and they were supposed to refund. But the refund mechanism did not exist because the discos did not have the required database at the time to validate who paid and who did not pay.
Oh.
Are you following?
Okay. Oh, you paid out of pocket up front, then they refund to you in units.
Yes, but that refund was never done.
Okay, so which of the schemes was it that you
I paid on that CapMe.
Okay, but
I never got a refund.
But on the maps, were you meant to pay? Or
now on that map, one of the things I said at the time when map was being discussed, when it was on the table back in I think it was 2019 or so.
Yeah,
I said in very clear terms that this program would fail because it will be dogged by the same problems that dogged CapMe. At the time, you had no a clear customer data. The databases for the discos across board was a mess. In fact, I've even had a conversation with how many discos so far this year about building a database that is based on valid data, KYC, valid data, like the NIN.
But that's not hard. Okay, so who's meant to build this database? Isn't it the discos?
Again, I showed you, I said, go to the NEC website, search for MITO 2024, you would see how much they're allowed to spend in a year. That tells you how much the disco can spend in a year. The disco does not collect, even in the case of your band A tariff, the disco does not collect the whole 209 naira.
But
the disco has about 10% of that value.
But the disco doesn't have to spend a dime. These guys are taking loans. Government is taking loans for the electricity sector. World Bank is interested. Sorry. And you have now local manufacturers of meters. So the disco doesn't need to spend a dime. If the maps is saying that
now
you provide the meters. And,
Kofi, hold on.
Yeah.
Kofi, hold on. There's a lot of miscommunication and misrepresentation of the electricity sector. Now, all of those things come because there's continuous policy somersault and miscommunication and the need to manage the process. You see, one of the best things that's happened in Nigeria has been this 2024 electricity law, where regulation of the electricity market is being broken down into bits and pieces, right? And NEC is midwifing the entire process. One of the best things that has happened is the discussions about discos of taking power directly from generation companies. It's called the bilateral market. Now, under the bilateral, your disco must meter every customer on the fee that it will serve with the power, because that electricity will not be subsidized by any government. When the 2024 electricity law was being discussed, the Nigerian Governors Forum, what did they say? They said, we are not going to subsidize any unit of power because we do not have the resources to subsidize. The federal government, for over the last, 12, 13 years of privatization of the power sector, owes the power sector well over $1 billion. I think they've covered only about 15% or 20%, which is why you continue to midwife and have conversations that should not be customer conversations.
So can't we have? Yeah. So you're saying
meters?
Yes. Go on.
Meters are not the customer's problem. Meters are the disco's problem. And one of the things I said in the forum I spoke in a while ago, I said, if you want me as a customer to shell out my money and pay for the meter because you have pegged what the disco can collect so they cannot invest in the meter, then that my investment should come with an interest. So you want me to pay for the meter, you want the customer to pay for the meter, but there is no interest attached to it. So if I pay 150,000 naira for a meter and you're going to pay it back over 3 years, it's like saying, okay, buy the SIM card, buy the master MTN will use to service you. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, so
we are seeing this because we continue to suffer policy somersaults.
So you want the CapMe, you prefer?
We won't even have this conversation.
So
if at the time the Papa wrote to second, hold on 1 second.
Okay, your network is breaking. Let me just allow you settle down.
1 second.
Okay.
If at the time the customers wrote to the
yeah, I think we can hear you now. We can hear you. Go on.
Okay. If at the time the customers wrote to the Consumer Protection Council, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so I was saying, if at the time the customers wrote to Consumer Protection Council, they were going to have that meeting, rather than drag everybody to a public show of shame, they could have held an internal stakeholder meeting between themselves as federal institutions. FCCPC, NERC, NEMSA could have held that meeting with the discourse to say, okay, how do we midwife this and manage this?
Okay, because of
today it's become a conversation
because of time now.
Because these policy failures not here.
This is a stalemate as we speaking. It's a stalemate. November 14, the deadline set by the discourse. What I'm seeing on my company, my SA WhatsApp group is November 20. Maybe that's the global whatever you're talking about, SCS 2.5 or so, or 2.0. What is the way forward? Since Unistar is saying you can upgrade their meters, and NEC and FCCPC are saying the discourse should stay execution. What is the way forward?
The regulators know the way forward.
You tell me, what is the way forward?
The discos have a right to determine if no, the way forward is to allow the market drive itself. Some people will call me capitalist right now when I say this, but the regulation band A, band B, band C, no. Flat out, allow a cost-reflective tariff. Ensure that the discos meter all their customers. Eliminate estimated billing as quickly as possible. The conversation around customers paying for meters should not even be had today.
But as it is now, we're having that conversation.
If the discos can do their KYC.
Chinedu, please. As it is now, we're having that conversation. Who should pay? We have a fast approaching deadline of November 14. What should happen? Who should pay?
The discos should fund their meters. But the disco cannot fund meter if you don't allow them to charge the cost of the service. That's the point. So it's a policy failure. That's what I'm saying to you.
All right. With Nigerians paying thousands of naira, per day for electricity, and when they hear that the discos are still not able to cover the cost of their investment, how much do we need to pay for these guys to cover the cost of their investment?
Kofi,
I want to pick
Kofi,
one last call before I come to
hold
you.
on.
I want to pick one last call, please. 99.3. Good morning. Hello, are you there?
Yes, Kofi, thank you for picking my call.
Very quickly, please.
Very quickly. I thank God for today. Kofi?
Yeah.
Hello, your guest was saying that there is reimbursement when you buy a meter. Is that also?
He said there was, undercap me.
Because I can tell you there's nothing like that. When you buy a meter, they will put either 11,000 or 50,000. They say they recharge it for you. It's not free. They will continue deducting that money.
All right. Thank you very much. You want to respond to that, Chinedu, before we go?
Okay, what I said is that they were supposed to refund meters that were purchased under CAPME.
Yeah.
Someone like me, I didn't get my refund. Under MAP, they're supposed to refund. I don't know what's happening today. Some say they're refunding. We don't know. But what I'm saying again is there's a trust deficit in the sector. You can't ask me to invest in infrastructure that is owned by you and I don't earn an interest on it. Do you follow me?
All right. Anyway, so as it stands, you're saying that the disco should pay for the meters, but their hands are tied because the sector is underfunded and subsidized and overregulated.
Their hands are tied because the policy model limits what they can collect, thus limits their investment.
All right.
So today, rather than deal with the question, if we had a policy that allowed the market to thrive, we would not be having this conversation.
All right. We'll look some more.
Asked yourself,
we have to go.
What are the examples I learned?
We have to go. We'll look some more at this at some other time. Like I think one of our callers said, the grass suffers when two elephants fight, and this time the consumers are the grass, as it always is. Chinedu Amah, energy expert, thank you very much for your time this morning.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.